What's going on, guys? My name is Eldenero and welcome to episode 97 of my Leicester City career mode. This is also the penultimate episode of this season of the career mode, and next season we will be moving to a different club. Now, what I want to say at the very start of this video is if you guys want to see the final episode of this season later on today, if we could hit 400 likes on this video before around 6 or 7 p.m. I'm not sure what time the video is going to be uploaded at, but it will be later on today. I'm trying in these busy times to construct a better routine for my channel and sort of get it back on track to regular, consistent uploads, which is something that I've been lacking over the last week or so, but that's being rectified as soon as possible. So we're starting off with the squad report. You can look at that on the screen. Another thing I want to say is there is a straw poll in the description where you guys can vote on which team I am going to join at the end of the season. It's between Arsenal, Liverpool or Manchester United. There are actually no big clubs from abroad looking for managers at the moment. The only one is Monaco, and I don't want to go back to Monaco because we went there in FIFA 14, and I just think it'd be better to go to a big English club for the first time ever on my channel, apart from FIFA 13 when I went to Manchester United. Man United is my preference, I'm going to say that straight up, and I would ask you guys, like, if you support Arsenal or whatever, you're probably going to vote Arsenal or whatever, but if you just think about it, like, one of these sleeping giants is going to have to be awakened, whether it be Arsenal, Liverpool or Man United. Remains to be seen, but the vote is there in the description. It will be open for 24 hours, and I'll take the final vote 24 hours from now as the final one. So yeah, let me know. I'd be really interested to see what you guys pick. I hope it's Man United though, in all honesty. I just think that would be the more fun option for me. But we're starting this episode off with a game at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, and you just got a snapshot of the league table, and you guys see that this is one of the most important games. Like, a victory here is essential in our push for the league title in this late stage of the league. There are only 5 games left, I think, overall for us, so we want to gain maximum points. And in the 7th minute of this game, Villalba puts the ball wide, but Chelsea are a team who have broken our hearts on several occasions throughout this save, which is why in the last video the title of it was fucking Chelsea, and that was meant in a way like, fucking Chelsea, like, they're always beating me, not in a I hate Chelsea kind of way. I actually like Chelsea, but they're just incredibly dominant in this save, and the fact that I dislike them in this save is a testament to how good a team that they are. So to the people who are offended by that, like, grow up, you know what I mean? But we take the lead in the 32nd minute through a counter attack from a Chelsea set piece as Yassine Benzia manages to put the ball past Courtois in the Chelsea goal to put us 1-0 up. And in the 36th minute, Chelsea bounced back with a Loic Remy's strike being saved by Butland and the rebound bundled in by Boga to make it 1-1, which was really frustrating because I think John Stones just did a terrible attempt at trying to hoof the ball clear. I was tapping the square button and even hammering away at the circle button, but he just didn't want to clear it. But we came forward again in the 47th minute with Benzia comically missing a chance that really should have been taken. Then we come up to the 52nd minute of the game with Diego Costa on the ball. He goes wide to Azpilicueta playing at the left back. His left-footed cross finds Costa, who heads it in towards Remy, who doesn't get to the ball. In fact, it was Boga who doesn't get to the ball. It comes to Schürrle, and the German makes it 2-1 to Chelsea as they complete their comeback and take the lead. We came forward immediately after with Yassine Benzia's long-range shot being punched over by Courtois from a very good save there from a decent opportunity manufactured entirely by Benzia. That would have been a nice goal for him. But in the 64th minute, the ball comes towards Hazard. It's cleared away only as far as Boga, who gets the touch into Diego Costa, who plays it to Ramirez, who goes back into Costa, whose strike goes just wide of Jack Butland's goal. Then in the 70th minute, Chelsea came forward once more with Diego Costa on the ball. He feeds the ball into Juan Pablo Diaz, the former Leicester City player, and his left-footed strike rattles the crossbar before bouncing over the top. Then in the 79th minute, Chelsea came forward again. Hazard on the ball. He plays it into Boga, who sees his shot saved. I don't know if it's Boga or Boga, so I say both because that keeps some people happy some of the time. And in the 85th minute, Bertrand Traore, the former Chelsea player, trying to get the equaliser for us, he sees his shot go wide, and we come all the way up to stoppage time at the end of the half with Mike Canalete on the ball trying to get round Jerome Boateng and doing a great job of doing so, but sadly his shot went wide and the game comes to a close, and our hearts have been broken yet again by Chelsea. But that wasn't even the worst part of the game. The worst part was that Hector Villalba had to go off with an injury. He's going to be out for 3 weeks, which means he's going to miss pretty much the rest of the season. He's going to be there for our final game possibly, but he won't even be fully fit. He's going to have the little plaster next to his name, or the band-aid or whatever. Our next game in the league is against Manchester City, and obviously, even though Chelsea are now 5 points clear, albeit with a game played over us, a victory is still essential, because what I did notice is that Chelsea have 2 fixtures left against both Manchester clubs, so there is plenty of room for them to slip up in this series, and I'm not giving up on the league title. We're going to chase it with everything that we have and do the best that we can. We've developed a pretty good record over Manchester City since our transition to a top club in England, and I was hoping to continue that trend today. In the 9th minute, DeAndre Yedlin comes tearing down the right hand side of the pitch from right back with that blistering pace. His cross finds Zivkovic, who heads it on to Michael Leite, who gives us the lead with an expert volley with his left foot into the back of the net, putting us 1-0 up, and the Leicester fans went mental. Obviously it means a lot to the players as well, as everybody comes up to celebrate what could potentially be a very important goal in our quest to find that league title for the 2nd consecutive year. In the 19th minute, Danny Ings managed to find himself in a position to shoot as his shot gets tipped over by Lawler in the Manchester City goal, a player I don't know an awful lot about. He might even be a regen for all I know. In the 58th minute, Man City did have a strike through Oscar, which was saved, and Yedlin got in the way of the rebound to block it, but sadly Stephen Cocker went down with an injury and he had to be taken off. Then in the 75th minute, Samir Nasri comes forward on the left hand side. He played it into Yaya Toure, whose shot across the face of goal was incredibly threatening, but thankfully nothing came from it. Then in the 82nd minute, we came forward, Danny Ings' strike being saved by Lawler in the Man City goal and put out for a corner, which was swung in by Valère Bresson, the substitute, and it comes out towards Schlupp, who kicks it on back to Koyate. I just said kicks it on, like nobody ever says stuff like that. But in the 89th minute of this game, we went on a counter-attack. Valère Bresson influential in it, as he plays the ball through to Schlupp, who has the pace to get round Sarr in the Man City defence, and Schlupp gets into a great position to finish. He finds the finish, he finds the back of the net, he makes it 2-0, puts clear daylight between the sides, and effectively wraps up the game for us and guarantees us the 3 points against Man City, and a very good performance overall. It was a short game, like not a whole lot of highlights involved, but regardless, a 2-0 victory over Man City is incredible. We find that Cocker is out for the rest of the season. He is a goner. He will not feature again this season and may never feature again for us in this series unless we bring him to the next club, which we're probably not going to do. But our next game is away from home against Crystal Palace. Here's a look at their team. Still like pretty much the exact same team that they played at the very start of the series, which I mean I've kind of had a few of these rants now, and I understand that I'm a bit repetitive in that sense, but it's a bit ridiculous that a club would get relegated and not have to shed the players in the team. Like, you know, they don't make any changes, they don't trim the squad. But James Ward-Prowse went down with an injury in the first minute. The referee didn't even stop the play, and we couldn't really afford to substitute him because we played Huddlestone, and he can never actually play 90 minutes because his stamina is about 4.5. But Palace did have a chance in the 17th minute through a corner. Then in the 26th minute, we had probably one of the better chances of the half as the ball comes into Bertrand Traore, who gets in ahead of Scott Dan, but sadly couldn't find the finish as he was tumbling to the ground at the time that he kicked the ball. In the 28th minute, the ball comes to Huddlestone, who plays a great ball over the top of the defence into Bertrand Traore, who manages to unleash a volley with his right foot. It's saved well by the goalkeeper and cleared by the Palace defence. Then just beyond the half-hour mark, Baraghi came forward from left-back. He gets into the box and does really well with his run, and then gets brought down by Dan, a player who we almost signed in our first season as well, but we decided not to because we got Luca Ante for a discount price, as it were. But the referee given a penalty. I felt as though that penalty was actually a little bit harsh on Palace because Baraghi did properly run into Dan and he was knocked off balance, but I think that's to do with the momentum of his run. Regardless, we'll take a penalty. We need all the points that we can get. Benzia steps up from the spot, he finds the back of the net, and we go 1-0 up, so everything is looking pretty good for us as we try to get this elusive 2nd consecutive league title, which would just be immense for the club. In the 42nd minute, Martin Kelly comes forward from right back for Palace. He plays the ball into Ward, who finds Ledley in the box, who does really well to play the ball into Basoufa, who gets brought down by John Stones, who was already on a yellow card. And the referee comes over adamant that this was a penalty. Not only was it a penalty in the referee's eyes, it was a straight red for John Stones as he gets his marching orders. It says there a yellow and a red, but it was actually just a straight red. There was no second yellow for John Stones. You can see why. He did take out 2 players. He took out the injured James Ward-Prowse and Mark Basoufa, who stepped up to take the penalty himself and went straight down the middle and saw his penalty saved by Jack Butland, which was tremendous for us. Then in the 45th minute, the ball gets played in for Palace as they attempted another attack. We got it clear, but sadly Carl Jenkinson actually went down with an injury and he had to be substituted. So things just not looking good from an injury perspective for us. us now. We've got Corker out, Ward-Prowse picked up a knock in this game, Jenkinson is out, and Villalba is out, and in the 90th minute, Mike and Leite almost made it 2-0. It wasn't to be, but it doesn't matter. That's how the game ends. A 1-0 victory for us from the spot thanks to Benzia. It would have been 1-1 if not for Butland's save, and we find that the other fixtures for that day hadn't been played. And just to show you I haven't cheated this in any way, we come straight out of that game, and as you can see there, Chelsea 36 games played with 77 points, level on points with us. Here's a look at the fixtures and how they actually did go down. Chelsea drew with Manchester City 1-1 at the City of Manchester State, at the Etihad, and here's a look at the league table as a result of that. 2 games to go. Chelsea clearly ahead on goal difference. We're never going to catch them on goal difference because of their immense attack and our bad defence, but Chelsea still have to play Manchester United, and we're just going to hope that Man United can do us a favour, because it would be incredible if they did. But that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. If we get 400 of them on this video, there will be another video later on today. Also, do leave your votes in the straw poll below, and that will determine which team I'm going to move to in this series. So, yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I've been Elden Hero. Fucked up my outro. Fuck this.